Hello. So let's get this going. Let's go ahead and just start on a new game. Have a kind of a cool setup here. Make use of some of this DLC that I got. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, so they're gonna start me out simple with this. Get this stuff plugged in here. I'll stream this part of the game for a little bit, and then I'll switch on over to the esports side of it. This is more or less a little intro. So what it has me starting out with now is just doing a virus scan. Okay. Virus scan is done. We can power it off. Unplug everything. Even though I played it before, it still wants to take me through a bit of a tutorial. And that's it for the jobs for today. I do like the scenery a bit. See what we have. Thank you email. That one. Okay, so they want me to install a hard drive. See if there's anything else here. Replace graphics card. GTX 970 gamer. $265 and the budget for that was $50, so we're gonna stay on budget. That one should be easy, just cleaning out desks and running a virus scan. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and place this order. And I know the account's overdrawn. We'll get that money back. So for right now, that's all we can do. End the day. New parts have arrived. I see they placed the new parts there. This one. I want more space. Let's see here. Oh, it wants that side taken out. So if they just want more space, I'll just keep their old one in there, just add a second hard drive here. Cable it up. Okay, we'll put the back panel on. This route back on. Okay, and it wants to make sure that it can boot to the operating system, which is standard. Let's come down in here. Now we can power it on, see if it'll boot up. Okay, that's all we had to do. Let's go ahead and we can shut it down. We can remove the cables. And we'll grab the next one. This one was the graphics card. We'll take the old one out. It's broken. We'll just go ahead and sell that, get some extra money. Put the new one in. Make sure that's secured. Side panel goes back on. Cable it up and see if it'll boot. And it boots. Okay, so we can shut it down. And remove these cables.
You've got mail.
Here. Okay. Oh, looks like this case seen better days. First, we gotta open it up. This is one thing that makes this a bit unrealistic. This is the first thing I've noticed. Just have to keep moving it around. Just things magically clean up. Okay. Put the side panel back on. that up. And since it wanted us to run a virus scan, I have to get my virus scanner on there. We can power up. Restart that. Okay, let's run a virus scan, see what we have. Quite a bit. Clean those up. And usually the virus scanners are not that quick. I just wish they were that quick in real life. Make my job so much easier. That was the third and last job for today. So let's go ahead and collect our money. And looks like I leveled up to level 2. Yeah, got quite a few things that I can get now. The auto connect tool. I need to go into the shop and get that. Clear that search. Let's see here. Gonna want that. The auto connect tool is a must-have on this game. Makes things so much easier. And on my calendar, nothing else. Okay. Yeah. I'm in debt for almost 300 again, but that's all right. Place air cooler and clean out dust. Okay, and the air cooler is the Mortoni Thermal 100. Only a $10 part. Accept that. Upgrade to 16. Okay. So normally they have to be, if you want to add more RAM, they have to be the same size. So it says that they only have 4 RAM slots. So we got the exact same kind. You just take 4 times 2, that's 8. It's not going to equal 16. But that's alright. Our budget is 140. So we can actually do that easily. 1, 2, 3, 4. For these, 4 times 4 is 16. And if we work it out budget wise, 4 times 30 is 120. 4 times 5 is 20. Added up to the 120 is $140. So we're right on budget on that one. And this one, they just want a virus scan. So we'll go ahead and do that. Do next day delivery here. And we can make that up, that's fine. It's kind of slow and boring to start. But eventually it gets to the point where you really have to start managing stuff. Okay. Well, first thing. This one. Very dirty. You'd be surprised, a lot of computers I touch are really, really dirty. Some are way worse than this. One thing I've noticed in this game is if they say it's dirty, it is dirty. It all comes in the same kind of dirty condition if it needs to be cleaned. Okay, so we clean that out. So since they want the cooler replaced, you can just take that out. You can't forget the thermal paste, it's easy to forget. Always have to replace the thermal paste. This what gives you a good transfer mechanism for the heat. Allows the heat to more easily pass between the CPU and the heatsink. Although you can't do too much. If you put too much on, it's not gonna allow as much heat to transfer. Same thing if you use too little. So using, oh, hold on a minute, I forgot something here. It didn't plug in automatically. Thought I did the auto cabling, unless it didn't include this. That's alright. Just take the side off real quick and put that on. It wants us to make sure it can boot to the operating system. Go in, shut down. And the cable is all disconnected automatically. So this one, they want the RAM upgrade. Undo those clips. And since we're putting in 4, I want to make sure that all of them are open. That way, all we have to do is this real quick. Normally you wouldn't plug in the cables into the last thing. This one does it automatically since I did that auto cable thing. But the one thing you definitely don't want to have plugged in when you're working with the boards like this is the electrical power. Always want to have that disconnected. Even though it's not on, power is still running through the circuits and it's very easy to short it out. Which, if you're installing RAM, you not only can short out the actual RAM itself, but you can also short out the motherboard. And then you're out for, you know, all that money, especially if they have an expensive motherboard. And it can short out a lot more too. Okay, we can boot up. Let's shut this down. And this one's a simple virus scan. So I think I'm going to spend an hour doing this and then switch over to the esports. So once my stream time hits an hour, I'll switch over. Oh, spun the mouse around too quickly. There we go. So collect on that. Collect on that. Now I'm up $320. That's good. So let's see here. So you always want to read the actual meat of the message, because they leave hints as to what exactly they want. Sometimes they'll want a specific brand, other times they'll want colors. Sometimes it will be stuff that's not even related to what's in the objectives. So we can actually just buy one of these and put it in. So let's see here. I think it was 2666. What's the difference between these two? Before Stark's over. Oh, that's 8 and 16 gigs. Okay. So we can do that, and that's going to bring us way under budget right here. Only $80, and our budget's $200. Fence looks a little clogged, so there could be other things wrong with it, which is why the budget is $200. But for now, we'll just get them the 16 gigs of RAM and see what happens. I'll click on accept. So right here, this is not even related to the objectives, but they'd like plastic light gray cables. And they want it complete by end of day on the 8th in 3 days. This just new parts available in the shop. Okay, let's see here. Plastic light gray cables. So I already own light gray cables, so that's good. Oh, I guess I should place the order for that. Let's see here. And this is going to be inquired eventually. System info, you want that definitely when you're trying to overclock stuff. Right now, let's wait a little bit on those and just continue on to the next day. Okay, that came in. So upgrade. Oh, you want to go into remove mode so you can open these up. Come back into here. There you go. You just upgraded to 16 gigs of RAM. And before we close it up, let's make sure this is not the one. Okay. So it is the other one. Okay, so we can close this up and boot it up. And yeah. And it boots up, we can shut down. Place in delivery area. This one is the one that they wanted those light gray cables in. So they want a specific color of cable. But what I'll do in this game is come down to cables and select which ones that they want. That way when you go and cable everything up, the color's already selected for you. Otherwise it's gonna be the last color that you selected, which is not always what they want. Sometimes they don't have a specific color that they want. We'll take this out. And just to make sure we can get all of the colors that they want. I'm just going to remove all of the cables in here. That one's set in stone, that one we can't change. Alright. Let's cable this thing up. And it may not look light gray, but it actually is. And these non-modular PSUs, their cable colors are set in stone, so you can't change those. But like that, you can. That one, that's usually a cable that comes with a case. Oh, don't want to put on the side panel just yet. We want this on here. Go ahead and power that on while we're screwing this in. And it boots up, so we can go ahead and shut it down. Got that one. So it looks like my predecessor forgot to put in thermal paste. Shocking, right? That's actually very easy to forget. And that's not going... We're not going to get paid for that, so... But it's good customer service to do it. Makes yourself look better. Okay, so they want a Sheen Power King 1600. Okay, let's see here. Power supplies. The 600, right? Okay. That's right on budget. So we'll go ahead and do that. This one, replace motherboard. So you can come down to PC stats and it tells you exactly what's installed. The game will not let you put in something that's a downgrade from what they currently have. It'll only register what they currently have in there or better. But if we're just replacing a part, I just replace like for like. So they have a Mortoni H170 MTech. Which is that, and that's right on budget. We'll go ahead and order that for next day delivery. Accept that job. I want to run that. Okay. We'll go a little bit in debt here. You know what? I'll just do this. That way I don't have to worry about it. Yes, I'm almost $1,000 in debt. But it's worth it. It's better to have it early on. That way you can make up for the loss in funds quickly. Okay. Which fixes this? The thermal paste. They leave any other comments here. Okay, so I want to run the 3D Mark. And I'll show you that one thing that I got for $400 on here. It's really helpful. Every time you remove the CPU cooler, it's not going to have any thermal paste, so you can't really double check to make sure. So you generally have to remove the CPU cooler and apply the thermal paste manually like that. And then cable this up. There we go. We can power it up. We're gonna have to install a couple of programs so we can run the 3D Mark. The 3D Mark is the benchmarking tool. I like to install the system info, that way you can monitor things as it's being benchmarked. And the will it run shows you system requirements for various programs. And mostly do it when they want an upgrade. They'll ask for an upgrade because they want to play a particular game, or if they ask for a custom build, they'll want to be able to play a certain game, so you need to know those requirements. That's why I got that application. So here, you load this up and then you run the benchmarking tool, and it gives you the temps for the cores and your GPU as well as your wattages. Oh, hold on one moment. I got an important phone call here.
me what it feels to be free, because you are the key. In your arms is where I need to be free.
Okay, sorry about that. Just my real life boss calling. Not something you want to ignore. Funny thing is, though, I think I fixed my internet a bit too well. Because YouTube is saying, hey, your current streaming bitrate is higher than recommended. So apparently I'm streaming at a higher speed than what they recommend for the quality of the video, which is a good thing actually. So we're replacing a motherboard, so we gotta take all of this stuff out. And the purpose of these screws is just so that the motherboard is not sitting right on a metal plate. It just gives it a little bit of space. With it sitting straight on the metal plate, it runs the risk of shorting it out. So that's why there's different sets of, no, there's two sets of screws there. Okay. We'll put the processor back in, close the shield, apply the thermal paste, put the CPU cooler in, And you notice I didn't hook up the cable yet. We'll do all the cabling all at once. The RAM is in. Make sure we did not forget anything. Graphics card. You know what, we'll sell that. That was from the previous thing. Okay, let's cable this thing up. There we go. Everything's all cabled up. Power it on. It's good. And let's see here. Didn't get anything from that for customer satisfaction. Sometimes that has to be enough to get us by. I mean, yeah. When I was playing the game before, I never really worried about that. No, I never worried about that app. Quick screw tool, that's what I want. Okay. Clean out dust, and they want plastic white cables. That'll be different. That'll be good. I can do that. $16 gigs of RAM they want, and they want Team Group brand, and we're gonna have to clean it out. This is gonna be another one we're gonna come in under budget for, because we can just put in another one of those. That was 2666, right? Oh, that's 2400. That's to be the same frequency. Yep, there's only one like that. Go ahead and order that for next day delivery. That's all we have on that one. We can accept. Both those are accepted. That's not going to be until tomorrow. There are going to be some you have no choice but to do same day delivery on parts, which the shipping is $100. But that's really if you need to have it done that same day. We'll go ahead and clean this out. Yeah, you can have Armand do it. He's been out of the field for a while. But yeah. Sorry, just talk to myself. That's one of my cooking. So yeah, my boss called me about a job going on tomorrow, and I really don't want to work tomorrow. I spent the whole week out of town, been driving all day, kind of want to relax. how that goes. Maybe one more coming out of the power supply. And just to make sure I get all of the cables that they want. That one's set in stone. So is that one. So cable this up. Cables that they asked for. Normally you'd have the other side off so you can run the cable management, but in the game in here it doesn't really matter. Put the side panel back on. There we go. Powered on. And here's another quick thing about this. It's not really realistic. So this you really don't want to do in real life. Just go ahead and pick it up with all the cables connected. You can break cables that way, or even parts of the computer itself. This one they just wanted 16 gigabytes of RAM. And to clean it out. And normally you can't run a regular can of compressed air like this. You get frostbite on your fingers. Okay. And while we're installing the side panel, we'll have it boot up. A little more than 11 minutes and we'll switch over to the esports side. Esports side is a bit different. A lot more tasks come at you really quick, and they give you all the tools. You can't expect 5-star ratings right away. But we're almost at a full 2-star rating. And they gave us 5 stars. Which gets us 2 full stars now. And pay the electricity bill. Let's see here, you'll see a lot of customers do this. Don't try to pass off any used parts. Most people just want new stuff, so I never keep anything used in inventory. Anything used just gets sold off. Let's see here. See, they have G.Skill 40s, 8 gigs. And they want team group, okay? Which means you should see what frequency they're running at. 2133. So motherboards have a max frequency capacity. I should see what theirs is since I can't get at H170 MTech Plus. So so H170 MTech Plus, here we go. Max RAM speed 2800 megahertz. Okay, sorry about that. The day sleeper just woke up. So here I can do this with just one stick of RAM. So this is $150 going towards a $200 budget. So very much possible. And a customer that was angry about missing thermal paste. It looks like they're very happy, so we'll get more customers. So they want a total of 1.5 terabytes of storage. And where's your hard drive? Right here. So their budget's $100 and they want 1 terabyte. Oh, sorry about that. Hit my finger there. So they don't have a Mortoni Easy Store. I like to keep the same brands together. So they already have a Mortoni Easy Store. I'll give them another Mortoni Easy Store. Seagate is usually better quality brand, so give them that. And they don't have they don't have access to the 1 terabyte SSDs yet. I'll go ahead and do that. Accept that. Sure, okay. See, this is what we'll need. Okay, so for this we won't know until we actually get the system, because it tells you right in the program what doesn't meet the recommended spec. It's just a lazy way of doing it, and then there's no due date on it, so we don't really have to do the same day delivery. But to be expeditious about it, I think I might. And budget is $350 for it. And they want team group components. Upgrade to 16 gigs of RAM. And Tech Plus. So we know that no matter what frequency we get, it's going to be compatible with that, because we don't have access to anything higher than 2666 megahertz. What was their budget? $200? I can easily do that on a $200 budget. Right here, $150. So we got 2 RAM upgrades and storage update. Go ahead and do that for next day delivery. We're overdrawn again, but that's alright. We had 12 days to do this. We can do that quite easily. Okay. We have 4 PCs coming tomorrow. And I'm gonna do this one day, after I finish off this next day, we'll switch on over, because we're getting closer to that time. Oh, I forgot to accept that one. That's alright. I was wondering why I didn't have 4. Okay, at least I know that I don't have to worry about buying that one. Okay, and this one, and these little things tell you who it's for. Financial B. I'm thinking it's Financial Bank. Okay, so they want all new stuff, and they want team group components, and that is it. So we'll sell this used part. Wait for that to load up. That's done. This one is a storage upgrade. Make sure that's all they wanted was a storage upgrade. See, there's way too much fluff in here. Okay, so all we have to do is upgrade the storage. So we just add a terabyte of storage. Oh, forgot to keep lit up. So used to having the option where it does it automatically, but that's alright. I put powering up while we see it's already powered up. I don't have the case fully assembled yet. Okay, and for Rich, anything special for this guy? Said the recommended spec needs a better GPU. Well, we'll see. See what we have here. We'll see if the application's already installed. Nope, application's not installed. I'll need this USB drive. So usually in order to keep with the budgets, you want to order as low end as you can to both meet the objective and keep them happy. So this graphics card that they have, it's good enough. It just doesn't have the VRAM. So here's what I'm gonna do. This is something that makes this game a little bit easier, or this part of the game a little bit easier. If I take that graphics card out, come over here to the shop, and usually if you sort it by relevance, it's arranged by how good it is. So if you come down, right here, this is what we have, R9 280. $350. So here's the thing. Got two of them right here. That'll work. It's, you know, a slight upgrade from this, but it's within budget. Here's the difference and why the prices are $25 apart is the frequency, the core frequency, which means this is a little bit better. So I'll go ahead and get that, and I'll do same day delivery just to make myself look better and get better reviews. Get rid of the used. And you see that objective is now complete. Power this on while we install the side panel. And it works. So we'll go ahead and complete these real quick. 345 for that. Good. Yeah, we can read the reviews right away. Negative 354, so we can collect that one. Negative 154. Collect this, which brings us 311 to the good. Okay. Upgrade graphics card. So plastic black cables. Upgrade graphics card. So what graphics card do they have? GTX 970 Gaming LE. Okay, so that's 970 right here. I think that is it. Yep, that's it. So they want an upgrade to this, costing up to $500. So it'd be a little bit better. Instead of doing just a slight upgrade. It's upgraded to this one, 350, and it's still well below their $500. Because, you know, the 970 to 980, and they're getting the gaming, higher core frequency, a little bit longer, and a little bit more wattage. I mean, if we wanted to, we could go down to a cheaper one and, you know, do the dual GPU, but no. That'll be fine. Upgrade CPU. Now here's an interesting thing. For this, it has to be the same socket type. So AMD just has the one. Ryzen 3 1300X. What is their budget like? Budget is $300. Can upgrade to the best that we can get so far. So we'll accept that. Okay. I want an upgraded graphics card. R9 280 GR8 3G. Okay, so this is going to be an upgrade for them. Go ahead and do that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and place this order. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming. Upgrade CPU, upgrade graphics card. I know I'm overdrawn. Yeah, Bongo is the only new tool, I think. Okay, so this is all set up. I'm gonna go ahead and save. Next time I stream this game, we'll just pick it up where I left off. There we go. Go back to the main menu. And we'll do the esports. I've already completed the go through once. Ask me if I want to continue. Yes, I do. Right here, I have all the extra tools available to me, as well as multiple workbenches. Just telling you, they recommend playing through the regular version first. We already have a system there, but don't know what's going on with that. First assignment. Here we go. So here's the objectives. So right now, I can tell you, upgrade to 16 gigs of RAM. They have 8 gigs. Most boards have 4 slots, so we can definitely upgrade that to 16. So we can narrow down our selection by doing the 3200 megahertz. Ripjaws. Ripjaws V Black, right? Yep. Just want to make sure before I make that purchase. And just some fluff emails. Okay, so that's the team manager. And let you know how much they got for you to work with for the week. So generally, the jobs for the players, you don't get any money for anything, and the extra stuff like for their friends and family, you get paid for. So a little bit easier there. So sponsor. So sponsors want some of their products placed in there. What's this message? Just so that, you know what? I'll just do that. I know. It's lazy, but I see everything unscrewed itself. Clean out dust. Come on. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, there we go. Let's see, this has liquid cooling in it. And keep it on the same channel. So the RAM slots are usually divided between 2 or more channels. So the channels usually go 1, 2, 1, 2. To get the best performance out of your RAM, you want to have them both on the same channel. Otherwise you're losing efficiency. Make sure they didn't want anything extras. Okay. So this one is all done. And then they automatically pick it up on when it's at the deadline. Right now, there's nothing more for me to do today. I gotta work. Oh, I'm getting messages. So they have an extra side job for me. Okay. Let's see what they have here. Okay, so they want a replacement power supply. Cooler Master MWE Bronze 650. Let's see, it's 100. So the sponsor wants a certain case fan installed. There's that. Definitely do that. I'll go ahead and accept that. And they want me to do a virus scan on their computer. Can definitely do that. When is this due? 3 days? Okay. I have plenty of time to wait next day for this. Go ahead and purchase those parts. And I'll just leave this up on the workbench. And what I'll do So I'll go ahead and install the lighting app as well after I do the virus scan here. Sorry about that. Go ahead and restart that. So the virus scan is done on there. Already got that on order. Okay. So I'm done for the day there. Go ahead and get this case fan taken care of. Okay, so that's the radiator. So we can only do the fan there. Just fine. Power that off. Remove that fan. And because I like to have as much airflow as I can, I just want to see. We can install the case fan up here. It's just personal preference. I like to have as many case fans installed as I can. Just to maximize the amount of air going through the case to keep it as cool as possible. Okay, so I don't need to run no lighting program. It's already doing the rainbow. But some of these others. Have everything do rainbow if we can. I'll just leave it static, that's fine. And this was the PSU. Okay, so we can take so this PSU shroud doesn't need to be taken out. Everything's all cabled up. Let's see here. So they want to upgrade the graphics card and they want to play that game at the minimum spec. So I'll just accept it for now. See what else I need just besides the graphics card. Here's one thing. The manager has a job. So just diagnose and fix, and all they say that it's just started getting slower and slower, and then just stopped working completely. So that is rather interesting. No, for that, I'll just place there. Diagnose and fix. So here, oh, that's a very white case. Okay. So here's something you can do in here. I'm just going to take everything out. Instead of doing what I normally do in real life, this is something that's unique to the game. Because it could be any number of issues. To make this process a little bit quicker, go into each. So the CPU is broken. So we'll go ahead and see if we can get the replacement CPU. Right here. Let's see here. CPU cooler is broken. We need one of those. Budget is $55. We're sitting at $55, so that should be all that needs to be fixed on that. So what I'll do, it's everything that is working, I'll put back in. Have that prepped. So everything that is working is back in there. Okay. So they want an upgraded graphics card. Surprise, that's actually pretty clean. So yeah, I'll be ending the stream here in after it hits about 2 hours. Okay, so this is how much of an upgrade that they want. And this is what I'm going to give them. R9 372 and 2G. Sorry, I have a horrible memory. R9 372G. $2G. Budget is $120, $115 or $120. They just want the minimum spec. And the difference is $5, and I can be right on budget. So we'll give them that and be right on budget. It's almost a new week, so where's my calendar? So yeah, the next day is Friday. So they'll usually have some last minute stuff. And if I really need to, I have what's called a trainer on standby, which is basically a cheat program. So if I need a little bit extra money, I can get it. So this one requires a second slot removed there. But so far, playing this, I haven't used the trainer yet. So right here, that's done. Let's see our processors. So the broken one. Thermal paste. And I hear that stuff called thermal paste, thermal compound. It's all basically the same thing. They just use different terms to describe the exact same thing. It all depends on who you're talking to. I want to keep that email just to make sure that I don't take that fan out of that computer. That way we can keep the sponsors happy. Take a look. We're all the way back up to $853. And a thank you email. And they have a request. So they have specific lighting that they want. So what I'll do is I'll copy down those RGB codes.
Priority 1 message coming in on secured channel.
So what I do normally is I take my phone. I'll just take a quick picture of those because those are that's the exact color that they want. Sometimes I'll just say purple lighting or yellow lighting, but it's the RGB codes that they're really is the actual color that they want. Sometimes it kind of looks a little similar to the actual color that they're asking for, but it's just better to have those codes. So there you go. This is the one for the lighting. So we'll put on the lighting app. Okay, so they have two color codes that they want, and they want it on 2 components. And that one, okay, so this one I cannot change. This one I'll change 250, 147, 29. There we go. And for these, for 237, 216, I like to do 1 or 2 things when it comes to the RGB lighting. To have them split equally between the components. Another thing I'll do is I'll prefer to have the same components show the same colors. Make it uniform in there. So all the fans showing the same color. There's lighting on the RAM. All the RAM will have the same color. Things like that. It just makes it look better. kind of call it OCD if you want. Okay, that's a sponsor. Thank you, email. Thank you, email. Collect that. Okay, let's see here. I think I already have that. I think that's something that I already did. Yeah. 2 components in rainbow colors. Okay. And this day is a Friday, right? Yep. So when I end this day, go ahead and do that. And that will take care of itself. Time to go to game day. Now for the real fun. So for the match day, they have you in a backstage workshop. And the players will want some final things done to their machines. Sometimes their machines are having issues. They want you to fix them quickly. And shipping is always same day here. They don't give you a choice. See here, last minute change. So they want 2 terabytes of storage added. Right. Oh, they want upgrade to 2 terabytes. Well, I should have enough to actually to accommodate that here. 2 terabytes right here. You see same day delivery, and they double the delivery price. So that's why you kind of want to watch your spending. I'll upgrade this here real quick, and then I'll see what that email is about. Well, I may have to do some stuff on that side anyway. Do they have an NVMe in there? Alright. So you see the timer in the upper right hand corner. Once that hits 0, then it transitions to setting things up on stage. Okay, that's a thank you email. So we'll go ahead and put this stuff back on. Make sure it can power up. Powers up. Game ready to run. And we are all set. We're finished and ready to set things up. So you take the PC, set up on stage, and start it up. And on this first one, it is easy. As you go on, you'll get 2 players, 3 players, and then 4 players on your final team. And that gets really hectic. Trying to keep track of all those machines and all the requests associated with them. Go ahead and close this out. And the team's success or failure depends on how good you do at this. So we'll go ahead and do this. And sometimes there will be technical issues in there that you have to solve in the middle of the match. So they'll pause the match, have you go out and figure out what's going on. And at the end of a match, you get bombarded with messages. Okay. Just to show you that. Team feedback, 6 out of 6. That's good. Sponsor feedback, 2 out of 2. And team member feedback. 4 out of 4. So let's see what we have here. So before I went with Vandals again, just to stay with the same team. It's a different game this next time. So let me switch over and go with Dragons. Okay, you get welcome. And the next league is Fort Fight. So used to using the mouse to click stuff. Hope you like this little gift I got for you. So let's see what they left me for a gift. A heart shape. Let's see here. So here's our 2 new players. Welcome messages. And just so you know, the background on the desktop for this computer is also the desktop that I'm using, the background. I'm a big Pokemon fan. Unfortunately, I have 3 monitors, and so there's 3 different pictures, and there's a different one on each monitor, and it's on a slideshow rotation. So I don't know which monitor it chooses. Okay, welcome message from the manager. So the budget, $3,350. We'll work with that. Okay, so it looks like I may have to change out the motherboards, because they want NZXT motherboards. Okay. Let's see here. Graphics card has to be AMD. Great. Okay, so one thing at a time. Let's get these on the workbenches. I'll work through the main objectives and see if what else they want here. Great. What did they just yeah, they started buying parts, and I just need to put in what's missing. All they got was the case. Wow. And they're giving me 4 days to complete it. Great. Okay, well, we'll start with this then. We'll remove the side panel. Asus TUF Z370 Plus. Hosting. So right here. So let's see if there is a sponsor equivalent to this. So the first thing I'm going to look for, the main thing is the socket. Because if they don't have it for that socket, then I'm going to have to buy a new processor as well. So let's filter out and just do that socket. So, and then the next one is the max RAM speed. So, 4,000 megahertz. So we have a few of them to choose from. Each of them, okay, so we have a black version and a white version. I don't want too much contrast in the case, so since the main case is black, I'll go with the black board. Let me see here. (2133 megahertz). So that shouldn't be a problem with the max RAM speed. So I'll go ahead and do that. And they want AMD graphics, RX 580. That is AMD graphics. Oh, on recommended spec. So here's where the part ranking comes in. So they need at least a GTX 1070 or equivalent. So let's come down to part rankings here. Okay, so I went down into the CPU. So just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna go all the way up to the best 1070. See, GTX 1070, 1070. So right here starts the AMD. So rank 90 and above. So AMD Radeon RX Vega. And it's that one there. There's no budget on there, no budget on there, so whatever I can afford. Vega 56. So I can do a Vega 56 and it will meet that. Actually, maybe not. Oh yeah, 8 gigs. Okay. There you go. And then I want to make sure so they're going to need another 4 gigs of RAM. ADATA Premier Series 4 gig 2133. So yeah, they're going to need that. They have that. And for storage, yeah, the minimum storage capacity it will let you have in the game, I think, is around 120. So they definitely have that. And if I wanted to double check here, right here, so they have 120. So they have all of that stuff Everything else, everything is ordered for them right there. And so I don't mix things up, I'm gonna go ahead and get this. And here's something that some motherboards have to make it easy to know which slots are which channel, is they have them colored. So these black slots are one channel, these grayish slots are another channel. And that's something on real motherboards. So we'll sell that because they're not going to use that anymore. They want these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the other computer match these specifications. Make it uniform, that way the same parts will fit into the same machine, or fit into both machines. Actually, I don't think I can because they want... I can't remember, they wanted an AMD AMD processor. I gotta double check on that. If they want an AMD processor, we're not gonna be able to do that. The reason why is a motherboard can only fit certain a certain socket type. Each socket type has a different arrangement of pins, and it's a slightly different shape. The outer shape is always going to be, you know, a square or rectangle, but it's notches in there and arrangement of the pins and everything. Well, most CPU fans are universal. It really doesn't matter because the screw holes are arranged the same no matter what socket type it is. There are a few that are very specific as to which sockets they'll support, but those are very few and far between. So we completed the objective for the recommended spec and the graphics card. So we got to, we'll install the game. I'll restart because we want to install the virus scanner. So yeah, we'll get through this day, we'll do one more day, and then I'll stop the stream. Okay, and scan is complete. So here's what I'm gonna do. Graphics card must be NVIDIA. And it's got to be able to do the recommended spec. So you remember when I went on here, right here, there are certain GTX, and there are certain graphics cards that'll still say GTX 1070, but it will have a lower spec and not be able, and it'll still show red on the Will It Run program. So what I like to do is I like to get the top ranked part with that name. So the top ranked part with that name that I'm seeing is the GTX 1070 Ti Gaming 8G. Let's see, that looks like it's it. So yeah. So that's the one I want for them. The rest of the parts are going to be exactly the same. Z390 black. Okay. Processor i5-8400. So like this. We'll do that. CPU cooling. I think they have the cheap cooler here. Thermal 100. Yep, the cheapest one. Makes it easy on the budget. XPG core reactor 650 watt. It's nice when it pops up on the first. ADATA Premier Series 4 gig 2133 megahertz. I'll need 2 of those. We already got that. Okay. Smallest storage. Okay. Fractal Design Dynamic X2 GP-12. There was nothing after the GP-12, okay. And this is just to make sure that the cases are, everything in the case is alike. So the only difference is going to be the graphics card. Everything else is going to be basically the same. In order to get the hard drive in there. Let's see here. Okay, so we can install the side panel again. We'll finish this day out here. So we need that one out and that one out. So how to tell which of these back ones to take out? Usually you want to put it in the highest slot that it can fit, and the graphics card usually takes the long ones. So the one directly next to it, and since we know that one takes up 2 slots, it'll be the one right below it as well. So that's an easy way to tell. And I don't install anything in any particular order. I just go down the inventory category list. I accidentally opened that. So that's where the M2 NVMe would go if I put one in here, which I didn't. Okay, so I'm gonna have to remove this cover. Oh, nope, I don't want to sell that. I'm gonna have to unplug that so I can put the mount back on. And this lock has to go back on. And just go down here, make sure we got everything. Okay, case fan. We'll put it on the back. So that is an NVIDIA. Let's say we specifically want NVIDIA instead of okay, we'll go one up. So I guess there's another thing. So I took it up to a 1080 because I don't want to go through all the part rankings again. So it looks like this MSI, even though GeForce is an NVIDIA product, yes, they specifically want something that says NVIDIA in the name. I'll get a little bit more expensive one. And that just satisfies that. Oh, I want the PCI lock. So that's another thing. You know, keep an eye on the objectives. Here's another thing that goes a lot quicker than in real life. Installing the operating system. It never goes like quick like this. And you have tons of screens to click through. Clicking through the screens alone takes you about a half hour to an hour. Okay. No. I'm just gonna save myself some time on this machine later on and install everything that I could use, because they'll want overclocking in the future, and sometimes they want you to run OCCT. OCCT is a program used to test the overclocking of the CPU. Make sure it'll, you know, run smoothly without throttling down. I don't I mean, I don't usually run it. I just run 3D Mark, because if it throttles, it'll throttle in 3D Mark and you can tell the difference. Frame rate will go from, say, 30 frames per second down to 10 frames per second. It's very noticeable. Okay. That's all set. So, I got that done. So he wants a modular PSU. I should have checked this earlier. It is a fully modular PSU. And since I got the same thing in the other one, we're good. Finish this day off here. So that's good. Okay, so that's good. Everything is good, so I'm gonna go ahead and save here and end the stream. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification icon. I will be streaming again tomorrow. It'll be a different game, and then again on Sunday. Oh. There we go. So that was PC Building Simulator and the Esports DLC expansion. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day and stay safe out there.